Bienvenidos a Casa Azul.
All right. Wow. So free to follow. You didn't find it like this.
Oh, no.
This is special. Like, I mean, you have a blue house.
We were in Mexico City during the remodel, and we went to Frida Kahlo's Casa Azul and decided right then and there. I didn't know what color. I couldn't decide. It was a light gray before originally, and then we went to her house and I was like, okay, done.
Even for Berkeley.
It's the Casa Azul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How close is this color to? Yeah.
That's top secret. They would not relinquish any information.
Like the recipe for Coca-Cola.
Yeah, they will not tell you. With the blue house, the garden was always the second part of the equation. Before we had a garden, it was just sort of tarpaulin blue. So I've been waiting for, I don't know how many years now, for the bougainvillea to meet in the middle.
Yeah. And I feel like you see it and it just feels different. It just feels like your own, a little bit fairy tale-ish.
I'll take
Definitely
it.
fair.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Because the idea was to really make it personal.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that there's any other option for us. Like I have no other way of doing things.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna live in it anyway. Yeah. I don't think of resale or anything else like that. I figure if I like it and we ever need to sell it, there's someone out there that is also gonna like it.
Yeah. So this is where liftoff happens.
Yeah. The wings are an homage to my grandfather. My mom's dad worked for Boeing for 40-some years, and we wanted an awning, and we decided that would be a really cool way to include Grandpa. They're Cessna Skymaster wings, 1950-something.
So you were searching. You knew someone told you about a salvage place?
Someone did tell us about
Our
a salvage. Yeah, he knew about it.
Yeah.
We are headed to Faith Aircraft in Sacramento, California, and we are looking for some scrap parts. What year is this Cessna? Do you know?
That's probably in the 50s.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, everything here is from the late 40s to into the 70s. The more damage they have, the cheaper.
And we spent a good half a day there looking through everything. So, and I can't remember how much I spent, but it wasn't a lot because some things are not airworthy. And so we sorted through everything and found the wings.
On three. 1, 2, 3, no. Turn it.
Nice
They were
hair.
sourced in Sacramento,
All right, our hands are off down here. Yeah.
brought back here, and then lifted over and walked
Yeah, we
over.
lifted them over.
You guys ready? And we're over here. We're over on the heavy end.
You guys did it. It's a DIY addition. By
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
We need to go like a whole foot.
super. I mean, it's really nice. It's a great work.
Yep, all right.
We patched them, so birds wouldn't nest
It helps to
inside.
have
So you can go to a salvage yard and just say, oh, I want a couple wings. Or
Yeah,
these are the wings, and then the tail wing is over on the other side.
Oh.
the coolest view is from down the street at night, and when you can see the red. I got some gels for theatrical lighting and just cut them out and put it over the lens.
To me, I've never seen something like it. To me, it's almost like Studio Ghibli movies, like this sort of like worlds that are very fantastic, but do have like historical. They explain things from the war, and like you say, my grandfather worked. And it's a moment in history where the modern planes started to become something very used, right? So it's kind of like.
I think I actually, not to walk away, but that's my grandfather.
Where do you know the place?
Aleutian Islands. He had a family, so they sent him to the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, I think.
Did you say what year?
1940,
So it's during World War II.
yeah, World War II.
Doing airplane wings, was that a controversial thing? Like, do neighbors have to?
Luckily, we're in Berkeley, so weird is welcome, I think. I did have a couple, what the hell are you doing? Or a neighbor came over with his little girl and said, my dad hates the color of your house. And I said, just wait for the bougainvillea to grow in. Give it 10 years, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be fine. I don't think we've done anything so crazily that it's offensive. I think Berkeley used to be a little funkier. I don't know, I haven't lived here my whole life, but Berkeley obviously has a reputation of weird and wild and wonderful and wacky and everything goes, and kind of the weirder, the more welcome. So I think it's nice to bring a little bit of that back. And no, we have great neighbors. We really do. So originally this upstairs had, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 partitions, like 4 rooms up here. So it's 1927 it was built, so it's lots of little rooms. So that was...
People used to want to just cut everything up.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a closet right here.
With a view.
Yeah, with a window this
Very
big.
small window. So
Yeah.
there's 2 windows, both that size. There was one here and one there. And the rest of it was walled off. The kitchen was walled off. We learned to create a view, you also had to put a tremendous amount of structure on the house. Yeah.
And this is the structure
Yeah.
in the upstairs.
So the structure is also significant, right?
Yeah, when we started work, they were slowly dismantling the east span of the Bay Bridge. And I was watching all the steel come down bit by bit and thought, how could we get some of that? So we drove, I somehow got a meeting on the bridge. It was really cool because we could walk sort of out to the end where it was halfway dismantled at that point. They wouldn't give anyone any steel. There's old lead paint on the steel, so there was mitigation issues, and they just shipped it all to China. So we were disappointed, but then we heard that there was a local lumber yard that got a bunch of the lumber from the bridge that was around the post. So I think it was a bumper around the piers
You can see the
supporting the
piers.
bridge.
So this would have been in the water,
Yeah.
like for the boats, not
Yep.
to hit the bridge.
Yep. I somehow got it here by myself, which was really funny. I created like a little, I rolled it, foot by foot because I was alone. And I got it here, and I meant to clean it. I wasn't gonna heavily sand it, but I was gonna maybe wash it. And I was not around for a couple of days, and I came back and they had installed it already. So it literally has like the oil and the dirt, it's filthy. It's really funny.
It's great with the rusted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't, I don't know, maybe just wash rag.
Did you cut this into the ceiling? The skylight?
The skylight, we
Yeah.
did.
You did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
this
those are the original.
beams?
Yep.
So just exposing the joists, it
Yeah.
feels like a
I
pattern
know.
that you
Isn't it
created.
cool?
Yeah.
It's just exposing what's already there. Yeah.
So you continued in the kitchen. You just were experimenting with tiles and...
Yeah, I love Moroccan concrete tile, and I wanted something I would never get tired of.
Doesn't it
Yeah.
feel like you're on vacation or something?
We like to travel, and so we always bring a little, piece of another place that we like home.
Yeah.
It's interesting that these tiles, they used to make them so the pattern goes all the way down, right? It's not only
Yes. That's
surface, but it,
It's actually
Right.
cool. Even when they chip, they still have the paint. So.
Yeah, when you drop a cast iron pot.
Yeah. I might have done that once.
So even the refrigerator doesn't look like a refrigerator.
Yeah, it is.
It feels fake. Oh my gosh, it's great. It feels like a cabinet
Yeah.
instead of like a
And
big metal
and when you're hungry, you just stare. You don't have to leave it open for hours. You just gotta.
So the sink has a story as well, right?
Yeah, I love these.
Were these for washing clothes as well?
Yeah, it's a
Right.
utility sink. This thing is really heavy, so I moved it around by my friend's tractor. The challenge with this one was you have to core a modern size drain because this is the original drain is only what's that an inch and a
really?
half for the utility sink. I stopped being afraid of mixing metals. That's copper, and I wasn't afraid that is copper and the chrome and
Yeah. Okay.
so I found this. It has the what is it? The grill elevator, which I mean, sadly, I've never used. I should grill elevate something, right? Like, we should do that right now.
What year do you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I love them because they're so simple. They don't require maintenance. We're vegetarians, so we don't have a lot of pot roast, but like I should grill
too, so
something
yeah,
in there. Then you'd have to clean it, right? I don't want to clean the grill elevator.
You feel the optimism of the moment, of the period, right?
Yeah.
You know, you
We cook a lot, but we don't grill elevate often. We have a dishwasher, and I don't know why I installed one because we use it one time, and every dish was in the dishwasher. Like, I don't even know what's in there. It's just the two of us, or when we have people over, it's just...
We cook here and we have friends
Yeah.
here. We had friends the other night, so we're making food. We're even washing up is a social activity.
Be careful on the stairs. This handrail. We didn't have one, and the inspector, that was the last thing we did, said, you have to have a handrail. So,
Oh my gosh, this is like a little kitchen. You have a kitchen down here. The sink is great. This must have been like a public sink with 4.
it was out of a Chicago firehouse.
Oh, that's sort of your past as well because you lived in Chicago.
Yeah.
You have the,
Yeah.
Right? So you wanted to have another unit.
So it's originally a duplex, and every floor is self-contained. So we maintain kind of the duplex structure of it, and then the basement was not in use really. It was the rat slab.
I will take you into the creepy basement where demo has begun. This was an unfinished basement. It was a boiler room.
Water
Boiler is coming out this week. This is going to be a bed nook and a bed nook up in the crawl space. We're going to tie in the first and second floors, making it one living, flowing home. And this will become the second rental / put mama in the basement space. I love you, Mom. And so this was an unfinished dirt floor boiler room basement. I tried to keep the boiler, but it was too expensive to replumb. So this was a huge ad. My mom stays here a lot, and we also rent this space sometimes.
that's second.
My mom, she loves it. Okay, she wakes up and I start chirping at her immediately, and she has to have coffee so she can hide from me down here, and she loves it. Yeah.
Yeah, this sink again, like this one you really can tell
This one was right here. It's still got like paint in it, and yeah.
Yeah.
So the story of the
don't
tile
know
on this floor is cool. All of it is second quality.
Yeah, this too. Yeah, the field tile.
So these
Second quality meaning
throwaways. So there you can get them for cents on the dollar. So there's some blemishes or chips or
The glaze is
Actually,
off, or the color's off, or
adds to
for
the-
whatever reason they.
adds to the look.
right. All this time?
All of it is second.
So I
quality.
collected it for a year.
It was pretty funny when you actually did the tile layout
Oh my god.
for
I laid it out.
for the tiler, and so there's a method to that madness.
Yeah, he had to be. I just laid it out on the floor, each wall,
And then we
and
laid
he just had to go in.
and then we laid these star tiles ourselves.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
So I did a paper layout, and then plywood for the pour to hold the shape of where the tiles would be set. So poured the concrete, removed the plywood, and set the tile.
So this door is
An old elevator door, and it was coated in paint that was really hard to get off. But it took a long time, but we just stripped it down. And then I found old elevator door rollers.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
I love this nook in here. It's like a bed room. Like the whole room
Yeah.
is bed, right?
My friend Ray is a genius cabinet maker. He made these.
Yeah.
And same with the sofa.
It kind of feels like a bed from another era though, back when like beds were more substantial. Like this is just,
So I probably shouldn't say this out loud about the high voltage door. I found it and it was just in the park, like rotting. So I think drag me there at like, I don't know what, o'clock in the morning and like carry out the door. And I just sanded it and shortened it because it was rotten on the bottom and it wasn't being used. It was just in a field rotting. So that's locally salvaged. That's where all the audio is kept. And then there's another. Yeah, high voltage. Yeah, it's just all the Wi-Fi routers and the...
There's a 92-inch screen that drops down from the ceiling
Is there?
for movie night. These are all blackout shades, so you can just turn this into a home cinema.
Mm-hmm. So upstairs was built in 1927. And this floor was built in 1929.
Even the shapes of all this
Yeah.
here is just
Isn't it
great.
beautiful? It's
And,
absolutely...
you know, like all places you enter, and sometimes you find spaces like this.
It's just extra
Familiar.
care to the, you know, crafting a space rather than just
Yeah.
putting up a square box.
Exactly.
It's just not, you know, yeah.
The sconces are all original to the house.
Yeah. You feel it. It feels so nice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, look,
Yeah,
this
it's
is-
a beautiful...
this is- So you decided you wanted to, I mean, this is prime real estate with the window and everything, but like
Yeah.
you wanted that.
I mean, that's luxury. So the bathroom before was just... This was the bathroom before.
Oh, that's cool too.
So, like, there was a wall here and a door into the bathroom.
Also with a very small window.
Isn't that amazing to have a bathtub with this kind of view?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Look at the tub though.
Yeah, that's an antique clawfoot. So this tub was in really bad shape. I sandblasted the outside. I drew you a bath the other day. Darling, let me draw you a bath. I
That's what I
did.
do in these kind of homes. It's the door behind you too.
It's the toilet.
Oh, I was the doors are great. Wow.
They're French doors, and then I glazed them with stained glass. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. It's great. Really nice. Yeah.
I found the door.
It's a good way to let the moisture.
I don't think I've ever opened the door whilst showering, but
I did have the question though. Why does the shower?
he did ask the question, like, why does it? So just go
What
with
was
it.
the answer?
I don't know. I found a door and not a window, and it's pretty. And why not? You never know when you need to escape
Mildew protection.
the shower.
It's interesting. There is a floor above us, but you wouldn't think, no, there's something straight on top of me, because you know you sort of. You have the feeling that you are. This is like a house,
It's
independent
completely
house.
different
Yes.
space.
Why do you guys think the houses don't do this anymore? Because I don't think houses
True.
do what your house does, which is, yeah, you see the layers and the stories you can explain, but also the character, the patina. Why is that not happening anymore?
I don't think people think about home as a space to unlock themselves anymore. I think we see them as investments, as assets, you know. And these are not great investments. Not everybody wants to take the time to understand the story. So this is a very personal space. Put together, like when you really build something with love, it works. But I think a lot of people are afraid to express themselves in their things.
Those are our
Swarovski crystal lights that are drilled in from the top and then hand placed into a zodiac formation.
The electrician wanted a layout. Somehow it just came to us to put our zodiac constellation. So it's Kartik, myself, and Bayou, the dog. So there's a Cancer and Aries, and Bayou's a Libra, we found out.
Give the night sky.
The night sky,
yeah.
exactly.
This is the office.
Okay.
Just
Is
another
it like
door.
a drafting table or
Yep,
something?
yep, it does lift up.
Just have a lot of character. Some people would just try to treat the surface to take the
Patina.
patina.
Yeah, life. Yeah, I love that.
Straight, yeah.
So do you remember hand painting these stars on the ceiling?
Did you really? You
Yeah.
have these?
Yeah.
So this light, so the light of this room I didn't see before, but it's spherical again.
I think that was another thing I carried around since I was 20. This is our neighbor gave me that. He's so sweet. It was really, really thoughtful. So did we tell them why? Yeah, I think
every neighbor asked
I
us,
think it was like, why is your house so blue? Without any landscaping, it was really quite blue. Yeah. It was actually really sweet because I think he wasn't thrilled about the color. But then he embraced it once I told him about Frida.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is original. So the floor, I know it's cracked and talk about patina, but
The skylight
yeah,
and the window.
the skylight and the window are new. And yeah. It's a solar tube. It has a solar panel in it that captures the sun during the day, and at night it's a light.
That's great. So it stays light at night.
It does. This room we lived in during
Construction.
so there was no power. The whole western wall was
For 2 years, we lived in this
Demolished.
room and got in and out through the window.
But we call this Brooke's room, my sister, because she stays here a lot. But we're sleep up here more often than our bedroom. I don't know if it's like Stockholm syndrome from the remodel.
A lot of sort of salvaged pieces.
Yeah, they're salvaged. I had the window and the headboard since I was 20 from architectural salvage from LA. And so the other pieces matched. So
Wow, you just kept these things.
And that
How are you
one-
storing all this stuff? You just were carrying things around.
I
with
could
you
just
for
carry
years.
things around with me.
Yeah, I'm just seeing all these doors. All these.
I mean, that's
yeah.
just plywood, right? From the 20s. It's literally just like a cheap, to them. But I mean, look how
patterning though.
it's
just-
beautiful.
Love it. Wow, everything.
And
What
the-
is this? This is too house like.
An old locker.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
I like the patina on that.
Yeah, it's really great.
So all the doors are original.
So the doors, you had to redo doors here, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I stripped them all down and oiled them all from 100 years of lead paint.
Dutch doors make a lot of sense, but
Yeah, you're right.
It's-
Everyone should have a Dutch door. It's a window.
Also, the funny thing is the doorbell.
Oh yeah.
Where's the door? Here?
Yeah.
Doorbell,
I just bought it on.
Doorbell.
It's really funny. I had no idea how it sounded. Like zero idea. I just
God, that's loud.
this is not melodic. It must have come out of I don't know what. Something industrial.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And the first time someone rang it, we were like, what is
Well, those are
that
now it's over.
sound?
And your mom's macrame?
Oh yeah, my mom macrames anything, plant hangers, curtains, everything she makes I grab. That little tree, stained glass, I salvaged when I was 20, living in a 1920s house in LA. It was slated to be demolished, so I quietly salvaged the glass. And that was 20 years ago.
So you just hung on to it.
We just moved it everywhere, every house, every rental, everywhere we ever lived, and finally,
Your dad installed it.
yep.
Is he a contractor?
He's a window contractor. That came in handy. The skylight is a 10-foot long, single light. So that was funny because my dad was like, are you sure you don't want, 2 pieces of glass? And I was like, no, Daddy. It has to be 10 foot, and you have to carry it onto the roof. And
He did it for you?
He did.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's a sharpening stone.
Thanks.
Your Peloton. So wait, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
get her going.
Look at that.
And then you can sharpen your knife. So
You don't think about home as, make it yours. Like think organically and create the space that you need for right now. It's more like, hey, what's the best investment if I want to sell this thing in 5 years? Is
all
it going to
you
age? What's the market value? Am I going to get my remodel cost back? I think those things limit your ability to really create a space that tells your story for that stage in your life.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
Well done.
Good. It's cool, right?
Yeah, really sweet. I love it.
This is very much telling the story of the stage of our life.
Oh, you know what cracks me up?
Yeah.
2 door handles in it, so you have to, you have to double. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I appreciated that.
You don't mind the unique.
Yeah.
No.
Did you put the army green on? Or was that on there?
On that one?
No, like see the army green color?
Oh no, that was on it.
Original?
Yeah. Oh.
Very smart, very financially sophisticated friends tell us you're never going to get your money out of that house. And, 8 years later, we've loved where we've lived. And if we did want to sell it, we'd get more than our money back. But it wasn't about the investment, it was more about creating the space that we wanted.